family? I can't hear your family. How are you? The hour is almost upon us. The days grow shorter and shorter. And I have come in out of the cold, home to the warmth of the Barbados Labour Party family and to this campaign. And I want to speak to you tonight on the subject, the sleeping giant, his myths and his dwarfs. Because if you have giants, you have to have dwarfs. And if you are telling stories, there are myths in these stories. And sometimes it is necessary to dispel these myths. And by his own admission, the dwarf, the giant, was asleep. And while he slept, prices skyrocketed. And while he slept, you and I and our friends and our families struggled with the cost of living. And while he slept, water and electricity rates went sky high. And while he slept, those of us who employed means of stretching our dollar found that it was like a rubber band that you pull it, and after a while, it popped. And while he slept, the status of this country changed from a star among small island developing states, from a country which was a model for others to follow, from a country which the former Secretary General of the United Nations, the Honorable Kofi Annan, described as punching in a category above its weight, to a junk bond classification. And the day after that happened, a person from the Eastern Caribbean said to me, "Is that the mighty Barbados? Junk bond status now?" I had a pain in my belly. And I walked away. And that is why I'm on this platform tonight. Because we did not work so hard between 1994 and 2008. Owen Arthur did not create 30,000 jobs. We did not reduce unemployment from 25 to 6.7%. We did not leave the strongest foreign reserves ever for people to say to us, "You have junk bond status, where is mighty Barbados now?" And the time has come to bring Barbados back. Go back to sleep, Frandel, because we are taking Barbados from you. This is the call to greatness. We are done with the mediocrity to which the Democratic Labour Party has reduced us. I am calling you tonight to greatness, Barbados. These fields and hills are ours. They were ours under the Barbados Labour Party, and they will remain so. Again, forget the politics of fear. Forget all the ads that are running on the radio, all the propaganda. Let us get to the reality. People in this country are hungry. People are suffering. People are smelling hell. People cannot send to school children. There are women tonight telling men, "I got a nice cat. If you want to play with it, give me a few dollars." That is where we are tonight. It is time for it to end. We are taking Barbados back. Taking it back. And it is not because we are power hungry. It is because we want to empower the people of Barbados to be the best that they can be. Glenn, can I have some water? It is not because we we feel we have to be in office. It is because when we are in office, the country is better managed. We have no magic wand. We are bringing management, not magic, management. That is what it is about. Rudy, put a little ice with it and bring me a glass.
Yes, ma'am.
You got to learn to treat the women right. You can't be calling them no bear pooch cats. We are taking Barbados back. A minister of finance cannot get on a platform and reduce himself to calling a female citizen any kind of nastiness like that. If she were a politician fighting with him, it would be one thing. But she is fighting for 35,000 people who do not know where their future lies. For the lady in the front line, she is fighting for you. For the minibus, the taxi driver here tonight, who told me his whole pension is invested in Clico and he don't know what he can do. Fowler was fighting for him. So when in fact Chris Sinclair insulted her, he insulted all 35,000 people. And I want to know, we saw him in the paper with Sinclair. Sinclair in the paper with Paris drinking. Was it before or after he had the drinks that he went and insulted Fowler? When Frendel said that people who are worrying about the Clico situation should be punished with laughter. You can laugh when your pension gone. You could laugh when you got money in Clico and can't get it out. So you deserve an answer. You deserve a response. You deserve to be told what is going to happen to you. You are part of Barbados. We are taking Barbados back. Back. We done with this fairy tale. And I want now to turn to some of the myths. Nobody around here got a fridge. Because he can't find 3 ice blocks. No, you know, I'm at that stage of my life where I get hot. And New York is very cold. So all I know, the heat is affecting me. And when Frendel woke up, you know, you're sleeping strong, somebody tap you. Frendel, get up. Open his eyes. Send him back to the cane fields. And he gone back to sleep. Tap, tap, tap. Frendel, wake up. And he had something else to say. All of y'all on the sow nipples. And he want to pull you off. No, we have come very far when Kerry Simmons is bringing me cold water. Thank you, Kerry. Thank you, Kerry. There's a red light on by me. Either turn it off or let me take it out. And I want to deal now with some of the myths. The Dems came to government, and let's not forget this, because we are now hearing that the election is not about the economy. It is about a society. You do not build bricks out of straw. You cannot build a society unless you have a sound economy. The people in the society cannot go in the supermarket. They cannot pay their bills. They cannot deal with basic fundamentals unless they have money in their pockets. And they are not turning to drug dealers, sir. They are turning to you as Prime Minister because you and your team were elected to provide the country with answers and solutions. And one of the things that you said you would deal with, Prime Minister, sir, is the issue of the cost of living. And the cost of living has increased significantly between 2008 and now. And it is not, sir, with respect because of the international situation. It has to do with the policies that you have pursued as a prime minister and your team has pursued as a government. And therefore, prime minister, do not tell me that you have integrity. Do not tell me you are stable. Do not tell me you are reliable. I congratulate you on these fine qualities, but none of them can buy me a pound of rice, sir. None of them can put half or quarter chicken in my pot. I never ever carry integrity in at the electric company and to take it for the bill. You don't walk into Barbados Water Authority that the Democratic Labour Party raised the price by 60% and pay with it with reliability. You can't tell them I'm a reliable person, let me walk back out now free. Everything takes money. The old people tell you money doesn't make the mare fly. And sir, we are crawling. We feel the pressure of a knee in our backs and on our bellies. We feel the pressure of the kick of the economy on our backside, sir. Deal with the cost of living. I congratulate you on your fine characteristics, sir, but talk to me about the economy because that is what got me can't sleep when the night come. It is the economy that has been downgraded to junk, sir, that the man looked me in my face and tell me, is this the mighty Barbados? That is what I want to hear him talk about. That is what I want to hear him talk about in some of the mellifluous language that he is so good at. Talk to me, sir, about the economy. The Dems tell you the BLP left us with a lot of debt. Myth number 2. And therefore, we could not do any better. The BLP had a debt over 15 years, 14 years, 3 terms, of $5 billion. You would feel the way the Dems are talking about debt, that they have created no debt at all. But in 5 years, the Dems have created $2.7 billion in debt. It took us 15 years to create $5 billion. In 5 years, they have created 2.7. But I say to them, don't worry. When the Barbados Party takes over the government, we will deal with the debt. You cannot be saying that the debt is the problem and then you are pursuing policies which add to it all the time. And the challenge is not that you have debt, because all of us have debt. You have to sometimes get a loan to buy a car, to build a house, to do other things. Sometimes you need a little soft loan to carry you for a short time. Countries also incur debt to carry out large capital and development programs. So there are no countries which are debt-free. Debt is not any phenomenon that is peculiar to Barbados. What is peculiar to Barbados now, under this Democratic Labour Party, is that we are not earning as we did before. And I want to give you an example. I had to walk with a notebook because I went and I collected a lot of statistics. You hear, for instance, things are bad all over the world. So no tourists incoming. That is why our tourism product is poor. I say to you tonight that our tourism product is poor because the dwarf Sealy is dealing with it. So that, listen to these statistics, across the Caribbean. Now, these people are getting tourists from the same places as us. The same places that have economic problems are supplying them with tourists. Antigua, 2.3% increase. Aruba, 2.6% increase. Bahamas, 2.9% increase. Belize, 10% increase. Dominica, 2.9. Guyana, 17% increase. Jamaica, 2.3. St. Lucia is down 2%. And you know how much we are down? 5.2. So explain to me why everybody else is growing, but our tourism product is contracting. The problem is not the international market. The problem is Sealy. The problem is the giant and the dwarfs. Thank you. Thank you, Saidomia. I appreciate it, Rudy, because the change in weather has affected my throat. The other myth, another myth that the Democratic Labour Party is pushing is that things are bad all over the world. Listen to what is happening in the world. In 2008, the world economy grew 3%. The Caribbean, 2.9%. Barbados fell by 2%. 2009, the world economy was down half a point. In the Caribbean, it grew by 0.4%. In Barbados, it was down minus 4.2%. 2010, the world economy grew by 5.3%. The Caribbean by 3.4%, ours by 0.2%. 2011, the world economy grew by 3.9%. The Caribbean, 2.8%. We were less than a percentage point. The problem is here in Barbados. The problem is the management of the Barbados economy. The problem is the policies of the Democratic Labour Party. I think I got it. The problem is that the giant and the dwarfs are managing the economy. So when they tell you things bad all over the world and nobody can do no better, you are seeing the other people who are in the same categories as us are doing not only better, but significantly better. You know why? They ain't got them. They ain't got the dwarf and the giants. Serious people are managing their economies. Where is Barbados that used to be ahead, that used to be the market leader? By your own admission, you are asleep. No captain can fall asleep at the wheel without being charged with dereliction of duty. You have to be on duty. You can't now wake up. You can't now wake up. And because of these policies, inflation in Barbados is in the top 3 of the Caribbean. Do you hear what I'm telling you? That our inflation rate is 8.9%, in the top 3 of the Caribbean. I came home for a couple days and went to the supermarket. I had some Barbados dollars and some US dollars in my purse. I had a list that had on maybe 10 items. I worked out that the Barbados dollars were enough to buy my goods. I stood at the cashier, and you know you can see the subtotal. I was watching it. People greeting me and Miss Thompson and I talking. When I turn back, I see more goods still on the conveyor and the girl fingers going long. I said, Miss B, hold a minute. That subtotal on your cash register is mine? She laughed. I said, Miss Thing, I tell you, stop. Yes, Miss Thompson. Yes, Miss Thompson, this is your bill. I said, sweet girl, did you start the cash register at 0? She broke down laughing. When she was finished, I had 3 mini plastic bags, and I had no more money. I could not pay her with the Barbados dollars I had. I had to turn to her and say, would you accept US dollars? She said, yes, Miss Thompson, but she didn't tell me she accept integrity or reliable. She tell me, bring the US dollars. If I compare in Barbados, bring the US. She did not tell me that calmness and a nice personality were going to pay my bills that day. She wanted hard cash for them 3 mini plastic bags. It is the policies that we are facing. And myth number 4 has to do with the fact that they say they were dealt a bad hand. The foreign reserves that they inherited was the largest foreign reserve pool that this country has ever had. And the Barbados Economic Society, not the Barbados Labour Party, the Barbados Economic Society, its president, a man called Ryan Strawn, I don't know him. I read the article in New York in which he said that the Democratic Labour Party has earned in tax take $2.442 billion, more money than the Barbados Labour Party ever had at its disposal. So this thing that they are short of cash is a bare joke. That things are tight all over the world and you know, they ain't got no flexibility. They are cash rich, but they're spending it bad because they are not good managers of our resources. They are not firm craftsmen of our fate. And they tell us, well, don't worry that we get downgraded to junk. Chris Sinclair, who is the Minister of Finance, said, so what, nobody ain't dead. I could not believe it. You are Minister of Finance. And he is also a dwarf. Because he presented a budget days before the junk bond classification was issued. The other dwarf, Delisle Worrell, the governor of the central bank, on whom we should be able to rely, he said, well, this shocked me. I had no idea it was coming. Maybe he was sleeping in the room next to Frondel. He was surprised. Chris Sinclair said, oh, no, I knew it was coming. But in the budget that was issued days before, you would feel that he would take the country into his confidence and say to us, we have some rocky seas ahead. And I am proposing these measures to deal with what is coming. Nothing so. He didn't do that. And you know what is most troubling about the junk bond classification? Apart from the fact that it makes your name mud in the international markets, that you cannot raise capital, that nobody takes you or your country seriously, that it is difficult then to attract foreign direct investment or the investment from overseas. What is troubling about it is that the international rating agencies, not the Barbados Labour Party, the international rating agencies are saying that the outlook is pessimistic. Do you understand what they're saying? They are not only saying, listen, things real brown here. In common Bajan language, they tell you, look, don't look for no better here. From here, going downward, it getting worse. It ain't hit rock bottom yet. But it getting there. So when the international rating agencies tell you the outlook is downward, that's the language they use. The outlook is pessimistic. What they are saying to you is that the measures being used by the government are like pouring a thimble of water into a bucket of water. It is having no impact, that the economy is galloping out of control and we are under pressure as the economy takes off and we can't keep up with it. And they are putting measures in place which are helping you to look at the horse but not rein it in. In 1994, when the Barbados Labour Party came to government, it was said that Owen Arthur could not change things from the way Sandyford left them, but he improved the economy. He didn't bring a magic wand. He brought strong management. He brought the skills of a real economist. He brought the attention of an experienced financial expert. He brought the attention of a prime minister who was awake, engaged, in charge. And though Owen Arthur and I have had our differences, like Mia Motley and he have had their differences, we both stand on his platform tonight as serious, well-qualified, professional women, saying we are prepared to walk behind Owen Arthur because we believe that he at this time is the best solution for the challenges which Barbados is facing. And I am standing here tonight in Barbados and not in New York because I believe in my heart that Owen Arthur can and will and knows how to turn this economy around, put Barbados back in top, raise us again up to the mighty Barbados. And I am here to put my hand in his and say, Owen Arthur, Mia and I and the people of Barbados want to walk with you because I don't want to hear of the people who speak to me when I come to Barbados. I don't want to hear of the girl who told me that she has a master's degree and she is working in a restaurant serving somebody food on a plate. Not that there's anything wrong with service, but when you went to school to get a master's, you had a different vision of yourself. I am speaking here tonight, and Owen Arthur wants to work, and I want to work for the young girl who is tonight with her degree pumping gas at a gas station in this country and can't get another job. I am here tonight as Owen Arthur is here for the man who has a master's and says he hopes he can get a job as a porter because he got a child to feed. We are here not because we are power hungry. We are here because the people of Barbados are suffering, and it is not enough to sell them myths. It is not enough to tell them better cannot be done. It is not enough to tell them that the solution doesn't lie with you as the prime minister, that it lies with the drug dealer. It is not enough to say that you have no hope, that you are giving us no expectation of better. It is not enough. It is not enough, Mr. Prime Minister. The Democratic Labour Party is not enough. And I am here tonight, sir, to say to you, go back to sleep. Take all the dwarfs with you. You are not good enough for Barbados. And it is not personal, sir. It just has to do with the fact that our navel strings are buried here and Barbados deserves the best. And the Barbados Labour Party is here to bring it to you and to all of us. It is not about power. It is about principle. It is about moving the country from mediocrity to excellence. It is about finding new levels of greatness. It is about saying, children, look at what you can become. Be the best that you can be, Barbados. It is about saying, yes, we have it hard, but together we can work, and we can work for a new morning in Barbados. And they're calling me. 2 minutes. Oh, Lord. Family, let me hear you. Family, let me hear you. And I want CBC to stop taking the worst cuts out of Barbados Labour Party meetings and put on serious speeches and issues. On principle and professionalism, you should do that. I wanted tonight to talk about energy. Glennon gave me the time to do that. I just want to make a couple points from the manifesto. There is an issue about privatization, and I say this tonight. I want to challenge Chris Sinclair and the Democratic Labour Party to be honest. In his budget, he said he was going to privatize the oil company, the NTCL. He already sell off all of Barbados NOC, of Barbados National Bank shares. He said he was going to privatize the airport and the seaport. Now they are behaving as if we said that we were going to do a lot of negative things with privatization. It is ridiculous. We had an opportunity to raise bus fares. We kept them low. We had an opportunity to raise prices. We kept them low. We had an opportunity to raise energy prices. Do you know, I didn't get a chance to get to energy. Do you know why you are paying so much for energy? It is tax. A liter of gas costs $3.30. $1.07 of that is tax. So that if you put $100 in gas in your car, $33 goes to the government. That is why it's so high. The energy component is driving inflation in the economy. But I can't talk about that. You are already under the Dems paying for health care. The challenge is privatization. The Barbados Labour Party took the transport board, gave the garage to all the mechanics, made them entrepreneurs, gave them all the work, build them up in St. Thomas where they are working and earning and making money. Please, I can talk about privatization another night. But some of the things that the Barbados Labour Party has in store is raising. You will not pay land tax unless you have a house over $200,000. You get a $10,000 health care grant, $25,000 and under, no income tax. And then we will deal with the energy issues. It is not about magic. It is about management. And I have spoken to you about the giant, the sleeping giant. I have spoken to you about some of the myths that are being sold to the people of Barbados. And I have spoken to you about the dwarfs. The time has come to take Barbados back. It is not a lucky dip that you can give them another chance. In 1991, when Henry Ford warned you, you didn't listen, and we were in trouble very soon. Do not let it happen again. On the morning of the 22nd, I would like to be able to sing a lullaby for the Prime Minister and the dwarfs and let them go soundly back to sleep while the Barbados Labour Party gets on with the business of managing and building a new society, a new economy, of rebuilding and restoring Barbados, of putting us back in top and restoring us to the place where people will look at us again and say, here goes little Barbados, punching in a category above its weight. Good night, Barbados, and God bless you.
And ain't got no money to spend, I tell ya. We done with them, enough of them. Those coming, we ain't walking and struggling.